these educational materials for you to better understand the 7 defining attributes that make you special. In this chapter, we focus on perception. It is the unfortunate truth that when you go above ground, you will be faced with many post-nuclear nuisances. These frightening menaces will come in all different shapes and sizes and pose an immediate threat to your survival. You must learn to deal with these dangers.
Good evening, Mr. Padar.
At first.
Oh, I am absolutely fucked. I went straight through all night to wait for the Bethesda show. I've been watching videos till my eyes are turning fucking square.
And the higher your perception, the more accurate you will be.
And this game's taking forever to install and download. Just fancied it. Just really fancied it because the one thing that E3 has done for me so far has just made me super hyped to play games. And this has just took my fancy, I don't know why. I am going to start from the beginning and I am going to put it on easy to try and get me a bit deeper into the game, I think.
Try more challenging targets and more skillful techniques.
Didn't watch it, mate. Completely forgot it. Completely forgot about it. I thought Bethesda was actually quite good, to be honest. I like the presentation of it. I know that the content wasn't super fucking fantastic. Although I will say Wolfenstein, not a fan, but that really got me. I thought that was cool. But I loved the old presentation of it. I thought it was bold. I thought it was really clever. I have found out today, which is a bit sad, a bit crappy, but not major for me, that Fallout VR is not for PlayStation VR right now. So I have to say, I will be saying I'm streaming now until the Ubisoft one. It's not on it. It starts in an hour and 15. Yeah, I don't think it's not PSVR, Benji. That's all the bottom line is, mate. I think I'm hearing though afterthoughts that it's purely because of how big it is. Because they've obviously gone. The announcement was to bring it all to everything. By the way, I apologise for these videos. There's nothing I can do. It's installing and you can't get out of them. It's fucking stupid. So yeah, the Ubisoft one starts in an hour and 15, don't it? Because if it don't, it's going to be a very short fucking stream. I thought it was 9 o'clock our time. And the 8 o'clock that's showing all over YouTube is just the pre-show. I hope it is. I thought so. Listen to me, you see. I'm not wrong very often. You should know that by now. Oh yeah, I love these videos. I think they're really cool. I just mean it's like on a loop. I can't do anything. That installing, by the way, it's going up like 1% every fucking 10 minutes. God knows why.
Like any machine, then, your body must be well maintained to stay
Who was?
in top shape.
Get out, man, I was bang on. I said $499. I said it for months. I don't know how you dare. Wash your mouth out. I said $499. Bang on the nose.
This means more healthful nutrition for you. Take caution not to bite off more than you can chew. Endurance can also provide new.
Don't even get me started on Xbox.
Some of which can be an acquired taste. Gone are the days of exercising for fun.
No, I didn't. No, you. I saw your tweet, Parrot. You misunderstood me, mate. You completely misunderstood me. What I meant to say was, we normally pay more than we should do. Meaning, when you do a dollar conversion, we always end up paying more. That's what I meant. If it came across wrong, then I'm sorry, that was what it didn't mean to say that. I always meant that whatever dollar price it is, you do an automatic conversion, people automatically expect it to be that much. Example, $499 is £390. But we know it's never that. And I'm right, it's £470. So that's what I meant. If it came across different, I apologise. That's what I actually meant. But 499, I mean, I'll tell you what I'm surprised about more than anything. And honestly, we've all had the Fallout, we've had time, loads of, you know, I'll tell you one thing that I'm actually, what I'm surprised about. Is it 449? I thought it was 469. Sorry about that. What I'm more surprised about is that the press in America seem to, like all the big guys, every one of them, and let me tell you now, guys, I have watched probably more videos than any of you lot put together. I have seriously sat in front of this screen for like solid 24 hours. I've listened to every show except the PC, and I've watched every follow-up video. The point is, what's surprising me, I thought the Xbox show wasn't too bad. I know a few of you missed the stream last night. I did a stream last night that was at 3 o'clock in the morning. Got about 25 people in the room where I discussed the Xbox. Now, I thought it was a decent show, okay? I thought it was my overall thoughts were, the start of it, it was like, I joked and laughed with a few friends after and said, they shot the load too quickly. The beginning was amazing. I love the look of it. I love the name of it. I love the first 3 games showing the 4K thing, because I watched it in 4K. I thought it looked fantastic. And I thought, wow, they're knocking it out of the park. But it was just like a fucking gigantic balloon with the air going out of it. And that's how I just felt the entire show went. It went like bang, 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 and then it just like went, Now, I've heard something today which, if true, in fact I've heard it 20 minutes ago, so just bear with me if it's not 100% true. I've watched IGN's after show, not IGN, Kind of Funny Games, Greg and all that lot. I've watched their after show directly after the thing, and they did a few, they're big on the figures and checking, obviously, they check more stuff than we do. They said, you know what, on the stream last night, I said to people what I wanted to know as a principal customer. I wanted them to show me Xbox One X, November the 7th, and this can be played on it, with dates, similar to what the Switch did. Here is the game, here is the console, this is what's going to be playable on March 29th, whatever. Microsoft just was so confusing. From minute one, it was like bang, 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 and it was like, what the fuck? Give me a date, give me the games, and this is where I'm coming to. Kind of Funny got the papers and the things after the show. Do you know that on the official release date, there's only going to be 2 exclusive games that's out on the Xbox One X? 2. Crackdown 3 and what was it? Crackdown 3. I've only watched it 20 minutes ago. I can't remember what it was. Apologies, but they've literally come out on Kind of Funny and said that on November the 7th, the only 2 exclusive, and bearing in mind that's what I mean, games that are playable on the new Xbox One S on release day, there are 2. Yeah, I know, Simon, but what you're missing out, mate, they're also most of the stuff is available elsewhere. And I didn't get the confusion as well, and I'm speaking from a person like everyday man in the street. We get it all, we're gamers. We're the pinnacle of their customers. But it's like there was all over the place. There was games coming on saying 2018, and that was a lot, by the way. That number was a lot. 2018, 2018, 2018. But then there was like dates like September whatever and August whatever, and then November and I'm like, why are you dates are just all over the place? And that's what some of the big guys said. It just seemed very confusing to the everyday man in the street. Do you know what I mean? And I know
Your advanced know-how.
I liked Assassin's Creed, Darren. I'm going to admit that right now. 10 Xbox One games on the 7th, 11, 2 new exclusives. That's what I meant. That's what I was getting at. So if you want to play an exclusive game, the only 2 are on that release date. So we're looking then 10 games on day 1 for 450 quid, 460, yeah, 450 quid. And you see, this is what I had a discussion with Steve this afternoon as well. And I had an interview with Michael Pachter after on the Jeff Keighley show, and he's the analyst. If you don't know who he is, just Google him, you'll find out. And Michael Pachter made a fucking fantastic statement, and I'd not thought about it, not, you know, just be trying to gather all the thoughts. And he said this, because he's an analyst of financial stuff. He predicts. He's actually paid a lot of money to predict future stuff. Okay? Yeah, but Anthem's coming out on every console, Rodney. That's my point, and this is what I'm about to say. Okay? Michael Pachter said this. Would you, and we're talking to gamers here, and I think, and this goes for PlayStation as well, and I'm not going to be one-sided, because this is the argument in all this big giant fucking pool. And I said this a few months back. Both companies can't say right now this is a Pro exclusive or it's an X exclusive. They can't do that. It kills the market for them. It's this, that and the other. Okay? This is the point that I think is an absolute massive, massive point. Would you rather, as a gamer who's looking to play the best games, would you rather be buying a PlayStation and an Xbox One S that comes with a 4K media player, so you've got that covered? Would you like to buy them 2 consoles and play all the games because they haven't made exclusives for the X or the Pro, so they all play on all machines? Do you want to buy both of them machines and play everything, or do you just want to buy an Xbox One X? And I'll tell you now, that kills it stone fucking dead. Stone dead. You can buy both consoles to play all the games that ever's been announced and is going to be announced tonight by Sony to add to the mix. You can buy them both for around the same price as an Xbox One X, and that is ridiculous. And that for me right now kills the entire argument stone dead on both sides. Until we get to a point, okay, until we get to a point where there is exclusives on the Pro and on the X, they don't have a selling point to an average gamer. Gamers want to play everything. I want to play everything. Now for me, in theory, if I had an Xbox One S now, I could play everything that's been shown so far. Every single game that's been shown and is going to be shown, if I still had my Xbox One S, and I guess a lot of you out there has got both, you can play every single game. Right now. That's all been showed at this show and will continue for the rest of the week. The point being is, and same as Michael Pachter says, there's currently around a 22% buyout price for 4K tellies around the world. So around 20% of people in the entire world own a 4K telly. It's a no-brainer. Right now, all this tech that's being thrown out is aimed for the future. Way, way into the future. And it's fucking stupid. But like I go back to and what everybody else is saying in America, why would you buy an Xbox One X just right now? You wouldn't do it. Because if you're a gamer, you'd buy both. With the same amount of money. You'd buy both fucking machines and play everything you can. It's crazy. I was surprised that most of the Americans were surprised at the price. Do you know what I mean? I'll tell you what did surprise me, Benji. I watched the 4K coverage, and I'm calling bullshit on this. I said it on the stream last night. I watched the Jeff Keighley show, 4K stream. Brilliant quality, by the way. Superb. Okie doke. He went round the table right before the Microsoft keynote. He's got on his couch 2 women that are very highly rated in the gaming world as journalists, a developer, and Angry Joe. He's got top gaming journalists all round the couch. And right before the show, he asks the question to every one of them, how many of you got a 4K telly? Every last one of them turns around and says, no, I haven't got one. And I'm sorry, I'm calling complete and utter bullshit. So you've got one of the biggest gaming YouTubers in the world, a games developer, and 2 highly rated game journalists, females. You're telling me none of them have got a 4K telly? I'm sorry, absolute fucking bollocks. Craig, you're missing my point. You're missing my point completely. Xbox One S is nowhere as good as the X. Of course it's fucking not. It's more powerful. What I'm saying is, as a gamer, if you want to play all the fucking games, you buy a normal PlayStation and a normal Xbox One S. And you play every game that's being showed at the E3. That's what I don't get. Or do you spend the same amount of money and buy an Xbox One X? For what reason? For a bit shiny visuals. And you're also missing a point as well. Rodney, I'm saying the same thing. I'm just about to cover it, mate. I've got all this. I've got a 4K 65-inch telly. I can play the games at the top level. I'm telling you now, it doesn't make logic sense to be paying that kind of money for the X when you can have the other 2 machines. The point you're missing, okay? But this is it, Parrot. And let me just make a point. If you want the top visuals and you want to buy that technology, fine. It's for you, okay? It's you. If you want the best, it's for you. What I'm talking about, as everybody else in the world, most gamers want to play all the games. Why would you limit yourself to spend the same amount of money on a machine in November that will play 10 games, new games, where you could spend the same amount of money and have both consoles to play all the games? That's the logic. And until the X becomes exclusive and the Pro becomes exclusive, it won't do it. And I agree with you, Simon. I've never told anybody. I can tell you now, I get 50 odd emails a week from people, shall I buy a Pro? Do you guys think I sit there and say, oh yeah, go and buy a Pro? Because I don't. I don't tell any of them to buy one. Not one of them. People have written to me daily, shall I get a PlayStation Pro? Do you know what reply I send to them? And the reply is this: have you got a 4K telly? If you've got a 4K telly, buy one. You're going to get the visual enhancements. Simon, you're missing my point again. I know it plays everything, but if you've got £450 and you own no console, this is what I'm trying to get to you guys. We get it as gamers. I'm talking a normal person in the street at Christmas, okay? If you have got $450, $500 to spend as a gamer, why limit yourself to one machine that will only play one set of games when you could buy both machines and play everything? That's the logic world we're living in right now as console gamers, and that's the logic I'm trying to get across to you. Because the X and the Pro haven't got exclusives, because both companies' criteria right now are you have to make the game on one disc that plays on both your families, the Xbox family, the PlayStation family. That kills the argument stone dead, unless you like your tech. If you want your 4K, if you want all the shiny stuff, you've no argument. I've got no argument with you. Buy it. Go and spend your 450 quid on your 4K telly. But my point's this: you don't need to right now. Because as a gamer, surely you want to play all the games. Let's say you want to play all the games. You want to play your Horizon Dawns, your Last of Us, your Uncharted. You want to play your Crackdowns. You want to play all the new stuff coming out on the Xbox One S. You buy both. Because they're playable on both machines. But that's my point.
greater your strength.
I get all your points, guys. I really do get all your points. But I'll throw this out to you. Do you all think it'll sell?
Some moments require more.
Of course I don't. Because of two things. Cost.
Keep doing your chin-ups
And the difference of not being able to stand and say. And it's the exact same scenario for the Pro. The Pro's not selling as well as the PlayStation 4. Do you know what I mean? It's not selling as well as the PlayStation 4 at all. Don't start with that pump. I've had enough of that, mate, believe me. Not even in the mood for that. Go away. I've sent the Nacon back, by the way. I'm on my DS4. I can't be fucking bothered with that. I've had a stressful day. What? Not get an X for everything? Not PlayStation and everything, and a normal PlayStation 4 for the PS1 games. That's what I mean. But I'm talking about a person that's got no consoles at the minute, but's got 500 quid to spend. You buy both. That's my point I'm making. I know that all you guys will want to probably buy the X if you've got the money and you've got the 4K telly. Para, I know you'll want to buy one. And I'll probably want to buy one for the show and for to have a look at one. I'm a new tech guy. I am like most of you guys. But what I'm saying is the Pro is a prime example of what situation Xbox is. And it's the point. I'll tell you now, if Xbox had have got the bollocks enough, and this is why I'm quite surprised they didn't go down this route, okay? And I'll say this, right? And I'll say this. No point buying a PlayStation now. Of course there is. Of course you'd buy a PlayStation. You'd want to play all the fucking Sony exclusives, which have knocked the ball out of the park this year. Of course you'd want to buy a play. That's my point. You want to, as a gamer, you want to play all the best games, surely. Do you know what I mean? You see, James, I don't get that thinking. Why are you thinking? Have you got? I mean, why? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, of course. I'm not saying it's not. But as a gamer, you want to play all the games. I do. I want to play all the games, and the games that were showed last night, there are 3 games I want to play. 2 of which I can play on the Pro. I'm not saying you're limiting you. Parry, you're missing my point. You're saying you're limiting yourself. You would buy the X if you've got the money and the tech. But my point's this. As a gamer, why limit yourself right now? You'd buy both so you can play all the video games that are being released around the world by all companies. If you sat with 500 quid, you wouldn't buy just an X. Because you'd be tying yourself down to just one console and one set of games. That's the kind of thing, and that's the kind of thing other people are saying as well around the industry. You wouldn't spend that money on one console when you can buy 2. It's not fucking logical. It's not logical in any way, shape or form. Yeah, that's what I'm... Parrot, no, yeah. I meant if you've got the money, you buy a standard PlayStation and an Xbox One S because you're covering your bases. You're getting all the Sony family, you're getting all the Xbox family, and you're getting a media player. So what I'm saying is for the same money, you're buying both consoles to buy all the games and play media. If you've got £500 to spend, that's what you'd do. Because you'd spend that, you'd want to play everything as a gamer. I know I do. That's what I don't get. And this is what I'm just going back to saying, and I'll probably finish up saying it now because I'm sick of carrying on. But the point's this. That if Microsoft had the bollocks to come out on their keynote and say, shout to the world, we're going to show 42 games, 22 of which are completely Xbox One X exclusives. Not the Xbox family, but the Xbox One X. That would show bollocks. That would sell your console as an individual item that's better than anything else. But they can't do that because they've got to follow suit. They've got to keep the family happy. And that's my point. Until one of them or both of them has got the bollocks to take that step. Like, I wouldn't be surprised Because this is my point, Simon. They need to do that. They need to do that. Because it creates the situation we've got now by not doing it. It makes common sense to have both consoles because, like I go back to, unless you're a graphics whore or a technical whore that wants to have the biggest, the best at the moment, nothing else applies. And that's my point. Because every single game being shown right now can be played on all the consoles. Like I've said, if Xbox would have come out and said you only can play all these games on the X, then that creates not a problem, but it creates a situation. I know they can't do it, and I know they wouldn't do it, but that's the point.
Gone are the days of exercising for fun.
Anthem is looking good, by the way. That was my favourite game of the show.
The greater your endurance, the further you can.
But I tell you what, I didn't realise, by the way.
To be mindful of others.
Yeah, that's what I mean, Simon. I'm not saying that's what the point.
Build your endurance, and soon you will find ways.
Simon gets me. Thank God we've got one person that gets me.
Stronger, more resilient.
I don't know why this is doing this. No, I've no idea. No, this is I mean, it's the first time I've installed it. I don't know why this is doing it at all. Could be still downloading. I've no idea. I only put it on this afternoon.
Do you know what makes you special?
And that's another point, Darren. When it said the word X, I think the wording was because they said it on the Game Over Greggy show. If the wording said exclusive launch day titles, any game that was said Xbox launch means it's coming out on other systems. No, I've not run out of space. I've got a 3 gig external I've tied on. I think that is the problem, by the way, because I still say that external drive, I don't think this system works correctly. Because I get no end of problems with it. Console launch exclusives, yes they are. You're right, James, spot on. When it said console launch, they're just an exclusive for a time, then they come into the rest. If it said exclusive, it was just on the Xbox family. If it says world exclusive, then that's everywhere. I've got to say that Crackdown, I was a bit disappointed. I don't know what other people thought of it. If you want to talk about individual stuff, which we may as well do now, we've gone over the machine. You're either going to fucking get one or you ain't. Mad chat's not going to make no fucking difference, is it? I'm just stating a point. I thought it was marketed different. And it's not me saying it either. It's everybody else as well, so. And I think they also said last night that I think the Pro's going to go down by 50 quid tonight as well. So that throws a whole new spanner in the works. So there is no exclusives on the Xbox One S. Not Xbox. The Xbox family, yes. Crackdown. And quite a few more. I think the player Battlegrounds thing was a fantastic thing. And I think if nothing else, what the PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds does, I said this to Ricky because he said pretty similar, what that does, at least if Xbox are getting behind them, it might be pushing a few resources towards them and helping them fix it better, because there are a lot of people saying it's buggy, it gets fixed. Yeah, I agree, James. I'm with you, mate. I've got to say, I mean, the point's this. I don't know if you guys agreed. I thought the show started fantastic. I love the name. I love the game. I love the name. I thought that was bang on. The size of the machine's fantastic. I thought it looked nice. I love the fact that you can plug everything out your other console and plug it in the back of this one. No questions asked. I like the fact. I love the first few games. Metro, not a big fan. Played all the others. Got about a quarter of the way from them. They were okay. They got a bit boring. I will say that Assassin's Creed, I didn't like the look of it on stage, but I've since watched video after, and I will say right now, I think it's fucking got me a little bit excited. I like the gameplay, I like the stealthiness of it. It looks like it's a brand new game because they've had a year off, and I like that. Providing there's none of that bollocks of collecting shit and banking shit, then they've got me. I like it. I like the environment. I like the gameplay. Forza, I thought they made a big error with the Forza shit. Yeah, I do like Xbox Ultimate. Yeah. I thought they made an error with Forza. I really did. I mean, to be honest, nobody gives a fuck about a brand new car being unveiled on a stage at a gaming event. The game looked beautiful. We know it does. Car games do look fucking shiny and beautiful. Have to say that. Nobody's questioning that. But to come out, and if Dan Greenewald ain't got fucking shares in, you know, if they haven't got shares in fucking Microsoft by now, I don't know if he was ever going to. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that was funny. I think a lot of people spotted that, James, pretty quickly. Ultimate, if you're going to start spamming and shit, mate, I'll just get my iPad and chuck you out. I'm a podcaster, mate, in the UK. I cover all consoles, always have done. I agree, Simon. If you're a bit of a petrol head, the Porsche was gorgeous. We know that. But to open the big face chat on the show and show that, I just thought you could probably like fucking hear the groans. You know what I mean? Like, oh, come on. What else caught my eye? The other one was Sea of Thieves. That was written down on my notes as my favourite game so far, as it was going on. I thought it was great. I loved that idea. Providing it's like a kind of Memorpaburger mechanic, where it's never ending. So you can log on anytime you want with your friends and keep playing it, that's fine. If it's locked to a story and there's a time limit of finishing, it's going to get boring very quickly. Wolfenstein, not a massive Wolfenstein. Watched it, saw it, thought it was brilliant. Yeah, I get the point, Para, of why they did it. I just don't think it's needed on a stage of a game show. Just show the game. Nobody gives a shit. Who gives a shit of putting a car on a stage? But overall, I thought, same as I said at the start of this stream, I thought the actual show was really good, I thought. And I was actually more surprised that the press after had a really bad reaction to it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why? Like, the American press, I'll give you an example. The show that I watched was Jeff Keighley, highly renowned. Angry Joe as well, one of the biggest YouTubers. I'm not saying they're the be-all and be-all. But they gave it a mark, the whole show, and I was absolutely flabbergasted. They like went across the board and it went like C minus, C, C, C minus. Answering your Fallout 4 question, yeah, it's a great game. I've not finished it because I just didn't get time. And I've only put it on because I've been getting into the hype of the gaming. So Fallout 4 is a cracking game. Yeah, they probably did, Simon. They probably did. The Forza fans loved it. But you just need to see the game, don't you? I'll tell you one game overnight I've slightly changed my opinion of, following up. The Need for Speed one. Kind of changed my opinion of that. And I recommend, guys, if... I don't know what kind of coverage you're watching, but if you're doing just the shows, I highly recommend you do a lot of follow-up. Like, go and watch all the shows on YouTube where people are showing. No, mate, I don't like him either. Parrot, I don't like the guy at all. I think he's just like a bit of a money grabber, YouTube-esque drama kind of person. I don't like his thing. I think he's spot on. What I'm trying to say to you is there were like 4 people that were renowned in the industry, the gaming industry. That's why they invited her. Jeff Keighley don't fucking... You know what I mean? And I agree, and that's why I go back to when they asked him prior to the show, do any of you own a 4K telly? I thought, like, that's bullshit. There's no way all you 4 people sat on that desk that's your fucking job to cover games. You're getting paid to be a games journalist, and you've not got a 4K telly. I'm like, what the fuck?
They will likely be without common manners and quick to anger.
Mate, I know you're a massive racing fan like me, mate. Forza's died a slow death to me. Just gets fucking boring as arseholes. Yeah, I don't like it. It gets on my tits. The Sony press conference is sadly at 3 AM. When I met Major Nelson, he had some interesting things to say about Angry Joe. Yeah, they had a bit of a spat one year, didn't they? They've had a bit of a thing together. I am John Day. It's getting better by the minute, mate. It's getting better by the minute.
Instead, try a subtler route.
Well, that's very good, but I think I'm liking it. I've got to say, guys, about the Project Cars, I'm going to be sitting on the fence. I'm going to be sitting on the fence with Project Cars because I wasn't a big fan of the first. So I'm hoping that visually, again, it looks stunning, but I'm hoping it's going to be a lot better. Definitely.
Wasteland with ease and yield other benefits like assaulting an unsuspecting dreamer for the
These videos are really funny, by the way, when you watch them. I forgot how good these were. By the way, I'm installing this and playing it just because I'm getting hyped up for watching all the things.
And to answer the question, do you know?
Are you talking about Project Cars? I thought the first one when it came out was shit. I thought the handling was horrendous at the beginning. And that's what kind of put me off it right from minute one. And then when you went in all the forums and shit and people were saying you need to go and change settings and it like went rife all over the internet, and then as soon as you made the changes you could actually fucking drive the cars for a change. Yeah, I've nearly finished the rally section. I've got to say, Dirt has been a real surprise for me. I think the thing is though, James, that's why I think Dirt's doing so well, mate. I think driving fans in the last 6 months to 12 months have been a bit fucking, you know, they've been made too difficult. I think they've gone down the simulation too far. But I think they've brought it back with Dirt, and I like that fact. You see, I don't know about you guys, when you put a driving game on, it's a couple of fucking hours of fun. I don't want to be fighting the bastard car all the while. I don't want to be concentrating 100% and smashing off every 2 minutes. I want the difficulty to be just right. Drive Club was okay. Drive Club was a bit too arcadey, but it was alright. And I will tell you, John, that Drive Club VR is a very good, fun experience as well.
Luck is a mysterious sort of curiosity.
So anyway, let's kick off a bit of fun, because the room's pretty popular for a change. Thanks for being here, guys. What about the Sony conference tonight, then? Let's have some mad predicaments. Let's have some predictions, then, guys. You're all allowed. I'm going to throw it open to you for a change. You're allowed one prediction. Let's see what it is. They can be stupid. They can be accurate. Let's see what you've got. And I'll pick one prediction for me, and we'll see how we go tonight. So, everybody, for a bit of fun, what's your one kick-ass prediction for Sony's conference tonight? And I'll give you mine at the end. So let's have a bit of fun. Oh, mate, that mixer, they're plugging that fucking mixer, aren't they? Jesus Christ. Oh, that's a cop-out, Para. We know that's coming, man. That's a cop-out. PS1 backward. Good call, Gary. Nice one, like that one. What else we got? What else we got? Somebody said PS5. That's a big one. Predict the most games not out this year. I'm actually opposite to you, just not, but I will tell you that in a minute. What free gifts did you get, James? Yeah, you've copped out, Para. You're right. Bloodborne 2's a massive call. That is kind of cool. More Final Fantasy 7 coverage. I don't think that's happening because that's fucking dying a death apparently. Sony mentioned that the PS5 is in the works, and what sort of power? Another good call, Rodney. Pro Controller, I'd love that like an Elite. There is 2 Pro Controllers endorsed by Sony, Mark, if you don't know. One of mine fuckers is going back. FIFA 19, do you mean FIFA 18? So I announced a game coming out this year rather than 5 years' time. I'll give you my theories, okay? My theories is this. I think the one prediction, God of War will be out first week in November to compete with the X release. And I'll also throw the second part open. I also believe that because Sony know that the X was coming out the end of this year. I actually think, good call, Ultimate. There is a big one coming as well, Porn 2. Porn 2 VR, we all vote for that, Craig. Yeah, I'm with that. I've said God of War is coming out in November to compete with the X, but I'm going to throw it also open. I also predict big time that I think Sony's main criteria of their entire show, I think if you split them, the entire game library, I think more than half will be out this year. And I say that purely to battle against the X. That's my prediction. I think over half of Sony's entire show will be this year titles. That's my prediction. I've heard that there's not going to be any Death Stranding, although Kojima is there, but Kojima is always there. Ni no Kuni 2, fucking hell, I'd like that to be out this year, but I don't think it is. PlayStation Home makes a return. That's a cracker, Simon. God, that was fucking awful, weren't it? That was dire. That was really fucking awful.
Get creative with your implement, but stay reasonable.
But the rumours are, by the way, the rumours that are coming round. Yeah, Duck Hunt with the fucking controller. All over that. The big rumours are there's a massive first party VR title coming. Massive. Don't know what it is. No idea. The rumours are they've got complete exclusives on, and these are off pretty pending. They've got exclusives with rumours of FIFA. Rumours FIFA, Destiny 2, Red Dead Redemption, and one more. But they've got, I think that's another good call, Minecraft VR. A legitimate one. The PS Vita is ignored and Sony pretend it doesn't exist. That's a said, that is. We know that's coming. Spider-Man's the next big one. Let me throw this open. A lot of the big guys are actually fucking talking that Spider-Man is going to be their big boomer. I have to say, from a personal point of view, I wouldn't give a shit if that didn't even appear once. Not a Spider-Man fan. Not even fucking game-wise or movie-wise. But rumours are abound that that's going to be a big part of their show, either with an announcement that it's out this year or some big stage show. I don't care for it at all, to be fair. The other rumour is because we've not heard of the DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn, a lot of people are predicting that Horizon Zero Dawn DLC is going to be announced tonight and out very, very soon is apparently a big rumour. Massive. Some are even saying, like, next week. Spyro the Dragon's got... That's another good call as well. Will Detroit Become Human arrive this year? Probably not, is the rumours. It's not close, but they will show some gameplay, I think. But Spider-Man's big. Gran Turismo release date? Could be. They might go a bit heavy on that. It's one of their babies. With them doing the beta this year. I think we'll see a bit of everybody's golf as well, with that being close to release this year. But I think they'll go heavy on Horizon Dawn DLC, big story pack. Do you think they could afford to say it's free and Sony take the hit? What do you reckon? Do you think they come on stage and drop the bomb and say Horizon Zero Dawn DLC is out next week and it's free to everybody? It would be the Crew 3, wouldn't it, Craig? I think the Crew 2's already been done on it. Am I right or wrong? There's no such thing as a Gran Turismo release date. Nice one. That's true. Fall of Man. What's that? Am I missing two? I'm way off with that one. Let me ask you another question. We're obviously naming games that we know about, and they're mostly that we've already seen. Do you predict that Sony do the usual, a hell of a lot of brand new IPs? Because they're really big on it, aren't they? They do like showing brand new IPs. I mean, are you a fan of that? I am. I'm a massive... Yeah, that's it. I've not told you all. Sorry about that. That's the big announcement. Yeah, they're going to show you... I think South Park's on tonight, though, Craig. It'll be on the Ubisoft in about an hour, mate. Yeah, Call of Duty's going to be on stage and all that will fucking drive you mad. But yeah, I'm not really sat here. I'm in Las Vegas, and I'm actually going to come on the show later, so keep an eye out. I'm the new ambassador for the PlayStation Now, and I told them to make it all £5 a month and £2 a month if you're on Plus. So there you are. And it's going to have me as its host. What do you say? I did like the Bethesda's show, I've got to say. I really loved the way they did it. I thought it was cute, different. I love the opening with the kids. I thought that was an absolutely great touch. That actually, the start of the Bethesda show was actually, it actually made me sit. I'll be equivalent to the Porsche reveal. Go off, you cheeky git. I will be, Kev. I will be, Kev, if you ever fucking install. We've been sat here for 45 minutes. The Bethesda show, like I say, going back to that, I thought the beginning of that with the kids, of obviously the developers, really set me in a really nice frame of mind. I was sat there waiting, headphones on, and I thought, let's get ready for this. And I just thought it was a really cutesy way to start, and it made me smile. It made me want to look what was coming forward. And then they did the really cute, clever, cartoony like theme park, and it was cool to try and have a look around the theme park, see if you could spot anything. Just the hype of E3, Kev, just the entire hype of E3. I just fancied getting back to it. Ubisoft's on at 9 PM our time, so I will be stopping this stream when it's on. But I might jump back. I don't know, it's probably going to be an hour. If you guys want me to jump back on at 10 o'clock, I might do. I predict Sony will improve announcing stuff. This is the worst thing I've ever seen, and I'm not sure why it's like this. And I'm pretty certain it's to do with the external fucking drive fiasco. And I'll tell you something, guys, I meant to say this on the show, but we've been busy with E3. I'm actually contemplating taking my external drive out, because it just causes too many fucking... I don't think it's right at the minute. I really don't. The machine's either... When it boots up, it's not finding the drive, it's having to repair the drive every 5 fucking minutes. And I really believe that this install is to do with this thing, definitely. Oh, Simon, God, yeah, nobody's mentioned that. Fuck, I meant to say that. You stole my thunder. I predict name changes, so hang on to your fucking ass. Let me ask you all a question. Big question. Let's say if Sony... It's not power drive, no, mate, it's just plugged into the back. Mine's really dodgy with the thing. I just think the firmware that bought it in, I think it needs fixing. I really do, because there's just too many problems, and I'm not the only one saying it as well. I spoke on the stream the other week where I said it just cut off for one reason. It just fucking farts. What do you think about the new VR games? Pretty cool. Doom's too fast-paced, I've heard, makes you throw up really badly. I'm really a bit pissed that they're not doing Fallout VR, I must admit. I think that's a shame it's not coming to PSVR. But again, I'm also looking at it, it's great groundwork again. It shows that a big AAA fucking game can be put to VR, and I just see it. Oh, it's a really top range drive. It's not a cheap shit. It's not a cheap shit drive. I just think Sony have only added it in. Is it full price? Have you got to buy it again, Para? Fucking hell. But all joking aside, what is the name change? Why is that a thing? What, the name change? It's massive, mate. It's massive on PlayStation. You've got to think this. The reason it's big on PlayStation is this. It's... The thing about the name change on PlayStation, and you look at my name on PlayStation, mine's awful. And I'm a prime example. They did your names when you first got your first ever PS3, and I got the PS3 for the show. It was actually funded by the Cranky Gamers listeners, which was one of the best moments of Cranky Gamers in back in the day. When I got that was my first foray into the new modern gamer tag slight PlayStation family. So what I did as a gamer, I just went on and I added my first part of my email. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just,
your charismatic nature to
I don't know, it's like,
of tense moments.
Daddy Darby 53. I'm not 53 for a start. But mine was just the beginning of my email, because nobody realised at the time that when you did that, it was permanent. And it is permanent. Sony have never allowed a game name change. But the point is, nobody could ever understand why they've not allowed you to change it. And Sony have actually already said... Sony have already said that they can't do it for some fucking reason or what other. But rumours are, because they're being pressured, it could happen tonight. I'd fucking love it. You just can't, Rodney. Sony have said over the years it's a technical point that it affects the network infrastructure of some bullshit. And everybody has pressured them for like years after years after years. You see, what you did, Gary, you did a right thing. You put your name in it. I mean, me now, I'd like a Cranky Gamers kind of tag, which I probably will change. If it comes, I should do it straight away and change it to something like that. I hate my name on here. But there was a big section on Game Over Greggy's podcast every week. They used to have people writing in with real gamer tags that said, I want it changing. And some of the gamer tags were fucking ridiculous. Because they made them back in the PS3 days when they were young lads and fucked about, like Big Dick 21 or some shit like that, you know what I mean? They made it for a laugh. Well, you're stuck with it now when you're a married man with a young family. So when you switch your PlayStation on in front of everybody and up pops fucking Big Dick 21, it looks a bit shit, don't it? Yes, you're getting a bit technical, Benji, but you're probably on the right lines. Yeah, and I think that stems from that, Parrot. It's all to... I don't think Sony are lying. I really don't honestly think Sony are lying, because it makes no sense for them to lie over the name change at all. No, it's not bullshit, Rodney, honestly. Like Parrot and Benji have just said, Sony's infrastructure at the back end is different. And I don't think they're lying at all. I really don't. Because it makes no fucking sense. If it is just a basic database change, which I don't believe it is, it makes no sense because they could even charge for it. Don't forget, there's 65 plus million PlayStation owners out there. If it was basically a database change, do you seriously think they wouldn't do it? And charge, even if they charge £5 for it. Let's say 40% do it. Let's say 40% change their name. Imagine the fucking revenue. So it's not just a database change, definitely. Yes, Benji, I will be on later. I will be. I'll come on straight after, well, not immediately after. I think 20 minutes to go. I might just go and get a coffee. Clone the directory, use it as a reference, then we put people on the fucking moon. Rodney, don't work like that, mate. Is Big Dick 23 still available? I bet it is. Probably is. The point's this, though. What ought to happen, Yoshio Shida should be in this room now and listening to you lot moan and say, right, we're going to change it. Do you know what, listen, before we go, last one on this name change. You know what they ought to do? And this is our hard announce it again, put my suit on, bit of impromptu shit. This is what I'd do, okay? I watch it on YouTube, I'm watching IGN, it's already lined up. What I would do is this. On stage, straight away, big opener. Walk on stage, whoever's doing it, whether it's that Sean guy, big guy, whatever. He walks on, he's got a PlayStation controller in his hand. Up pops the screen behind him, this is the fucking opener. He goes into his account, you can see it, it's called Sean whatever the fuck his name is. He presses the button, he goes down to a button in a firmware change and it comes up, change name. The fucking crowd lose their shit. He then comes on and puts something like Sony PlayStation Big Dick, you know, a big like name. That's what he does. Presses go, changes his name. Thank you very fucking much. Drop the mic. Fuck off. God of War appears on the fucking screen as the opener. Good night. Bye. I could run their show. I could do a fucking keynote. Let me be in charge. Wednesday, Henage, the actual official Cranky Gamers. They do, but don't you think I would? I was just about to say to you guys, I would honestly, if the name change is a thing happening tonight, I'll be happy as fuck. Yes, and I bet I'm one of them, James. Right then, boys, I'm going to get off because I want to get a quick coffee and a drink before the Ubisoft. Appreciate the hour. It's been a good chat. Bit of Xbox chat, bit of PlayStation chat. We'll no doubt return and see what... we will see what's happening. Oh, Griffey, I'm not fucking... Everybody knows it is. It's not a basic thing, Rodney. It really isn't. And I'm not looking forward to Ubisoft because I've never been impressed. Although rumours are they're going to show quite a bit of South Park. And with the early rumours that that was actually going under, I hope they kind of give some... They have given a date for that, haven't they? Didn't they announce October 27th? They did, didn't they? So now they've given a date because everybody was scared to death. Anyway, I'm going to get off because I've got 10 minutes to get a drink. 15 minutes. I'll be back just after 10 if anybody's going to come back on. I am, mate, straight after around about 10, quarter past 10, maybe half past at a stretch. Because I think Ubisoft's not going to last more than an hour. And I bet that actress comes on doing their show. She's done it for the last 3 years. And I've got to fucking say, she's a very attractive lady, but she's a fucking ball ache to listen to. I hope she's not there. I'll see you around 10, 10:30, guys. See you later. Sorry, Rhys, we're just going to watch the Ubisoft and we will return in about an hour and a half. So I'll be back later, guys. See yous later. And yes, I'll leave this fucker installing. See you, boys. Back later.